The tax dollar tally really took off when the Jets left the runway. While $400 was the average round-trip fare to Toronto, more than 50 teachers booked their trip late, costing as much as $1,200, $1,300, up to $1,400 per ticket. Last-minute flights also meant paying a late registration fee for the International Reading Conference, costing taxpayers $360. That's $100 more than if they had registered on time. By far the most popular extravagance paid for by taxpayers, what's known as Canada's Wonder of the World, dinner at the top of the CN Tower. Several teachers took the elevators to the top to enjoy the $52 salmon, the $52 chicken, and the $58 prime rib. This teacher spent $60, this one $79, but on what? Their receipts show no detail. Then again, there were no spending limits on food. For 5 DISD teachers, a visit to Toronto would not be complete without a day trip to dramatic Niagara Falls, followed by a visit to the Niagara Falls Hilton for the New York steak, beef tenderloin, and roasted Atlantic salmon. Total cost $342, excluding tip. What's more, that day trip to the falls was taken before the conference started, meaning taxpayers paid for an extra night at a hotel. And some of those hotels were among the best in the city, such as the opulent Fairmont Royal York, where a room cost taxpayers up to $340 a night. Other teachers opted for the Westin Harbor Castle, where taxpayers forked over more than $400 per night. On top of that, several teachers made this call.
Room service, I would like the angel hair pasta and fresh raspberries in season, please.
One teacher added $10 to the built-in 15% tip. But without question, the most exotic stop for some on this Toronto trip would have to be here at the Sultan's tent. And what taxpayer wouldn't surrender all fiscal sensibilities at the drop of a veil during the nightly belly dance at Sultan's tent? A 4-course meal at the Zagat-rated Mediterranean Mecca cost several teachers $51 plus tip. 2 teachers decided 4 courses were not enough and ordered extra crab cakes, shrimp, and seafood royale. Total for 2, $142. How do DISD officials respond?
You know, obviously our manual is somewhat out of date. The regulations need to be addressed for consistency. And
DISD Financial Director David Rastolini says the problem is obvious. Current district policy does not cover international travel, which would account for 2 teachers dropping $188 at the Kit Kat Bar and Grill with absolutely no detail on how that money was spent. This $89 tab was detailed, but it included wine, which is prohibited. 75% of DISD schools chose not to send anyone to Toronto. 166 teachers did go, 10 from Rice Elementary, 9 from Lee Elementary. One of those teachers from Lee was just 1 week away from retiring. It's up to each school principal to decide who goes, and 15 of them decided to send themselves.
Couldn't somebody have said, time out, let's be prudent about this?
Well, again, this is going to be from campus to campus.
Among the principals who went, Maya Lagbara of Harold Budd Elementary, who along with her husband, a DISD journalism teacher, dined like diplomats, incurring some of the most eye-popping expenses of the trip. Over 2 nights alone, they pleasured their palates with rack of lamb, king crab legs, Nova Scotia lobster, fresh fig salad, and a $14 helping of maple syrup pie. Total tab for 2 over 2 nights, $418 picked up by you, the taxpayer. After several unsuccessful attempts to reach her, we caught up with Lagbara outside of her school.
Looks like you and your husband spent about $200 apiece in 2 nights on meals at some pretty fancy places in Toronto.
Can we talk to you about that?
It would be better at a later time, sir,
What's wrong with right now?
because I'm trying to get to another meeting.